The wine turns to vinegar in my mouth before I even swallow. Crystal clinks somewhere to my left. Chair scrapes. Then the sound that matters arrives. Not loud, not rushed. It's a low, resonant baritone, cultured and cruel, designed to travel across the mahogany table and hit me squarely in the chest. The room tightens around it. 20 people go still. I know without looking that this moment will bruise. "We don't bring strays into the house," he says mildly. Almost kindly. "We feed them on the back porch perhaps, but we certainly don't offer them a seat at the table." It confuses the lineage. The words land clean. Surgical. A few guests inhale sharply. Others pretend not to hear, suddenly fascinated by linen napkins and imported silverware. The chandeliers hum softly overhead, obscene in their calm. I feel the heat crawl up my neck, feel my pulse thudding against my ribs like it's trying to escape. Silas Hawthorne doesn't look at me when he speaks. He doesn't have to. He knows exactly where I am, between his son and a senator's wife, wearing an off-the-rack dress that cost less than the dessert forks. He gestures vaguely, the way one does when discussing pests or policies. "We've worked very hard to preserve standards in this family. Discipline. History." Thin smile. Inviting experiments confuses people. Someone chuckles. It dies fast that I become aware of my hands gripping my lap so hard my nails bite skin. I welcome the pain. And sharp, real, keeps me from floating away. My ears ring. Blood drains from my face, then rushes back, hot and humiliating. I think of food stamps, of rent notices, of how my education cost less than the cutlery laid out before me, and how none of that should matter, and how it does. Ethan shifts beside me. His knee bounces. He opens his mouth, closes it. "Dad!" He starts, weak as paper. Silas finally turns his head. His eyes flick over me with professional disinterest, like an appraisal that's already decided. "Boys have their dalliances," he continues smoothly. "Especially with gritty women. It builds character. But we don't mistake them for permanence." Table freezes. No one intervenes. Senators, tycoons, patrons of museums. All suddenly statues. I am very aware of being watched. Measured. Judged. My name is Kira Thorne. I am 34 years old. I am not a stray that I breathe in through my nose, slow and steady, using the ache in my palms to anchor myself. I don't cry. I don't apologize. Don't explain. I let the silence stretch just long enough to become uncomfortable. Long enough that Silas notices it didn't break me. "I appreciate the education," I say finally, my voice level, surprising even me. "Thank you for the clarity. It's rare to meet a man so eager to show the world exactly how small he really is." A ripple goes through the table, shock, then something like awe. Silas's smile tightens. Ethan's face collapses, mortified. I push my chair back carefully. I don't run. I walk. I pass a Renoir on my way out, its colors muted and expensive, and I think how strange it is that beauty can hang so quietly in a room like that. Outside, the night air slaps me awake. In the parking lot, a Ferrari gleams beside a Maybach. My Honda sits between them, dusty and defiant. "Kira, wait." Ethan jogs after me, tie askew, eyes wet. He reaches for my arm and stops himself. I didn't know he'd say that. He didn't mean. "You heard him," I say. My hands are steady now. "And you stayed seated." He swallows. "We can fix this. I'll talk to him. He just needs time." I look at him, really look, and feel something cold and clear settle in my chest. "You can't fix a rot that deep," I say softly. He flinches like I struck him. "I was in shock," he whispers. I open my car door. The interior smells like old coffee and home. "I was in hell," I say. "There's a difference." Get in. Close the door. And as I drive away, I know, with a certainty that scares me, that this is only the beginning. I'm 3 blocks away when my phone vibrates against the console. I ignore it at first. My hands are still buzzing, my jaw locked so tight it aches. I make it to a red light before the vibration comes again. Insistent, professional, impossible to mistake for personal. "Kira," Sarah says when I answer, voice clipped with urgency. "I know it's late. We just got an update from New York." I close my eyes and exhale. "Talk to me." "It's about the Vance Energy merger. They moved the timeline up. Way up. They're bleeding cash faster than expected. And they need Nexus Dynamics to survive the quarter." The light turns green. I pull through the intersection slowly, the city blurring past. How desperate? Asked. There's a pause. A smile in her voice. $4 billion desperate. Something inside me stills. The humiliation from dinner hasn't faded, but it shifts, rearranges itself into something colder, sharper. And Silas? I ask, though I already know. He's been leading the negotiations personally, she says. Very hands-on. But here's the part you'll enjoy. He doesn't know. I pull into my apartment garage and cut the engine. The silence hums. Doesn't know what? That nexus isn't just a partner, Sarah says. It's the only thing keeping Vance solvent. And that you, she lets the moment breathe, are the majority shareholder. I lean my head back against the seat. I don't laugh. I don't smile. The sensation that spreads through me is quieter than that. It's the slow, satisfying click of a lock turning. Silas Hawthorne, arbiter of lineage and taste, has been begging for months without realizing it. His legacy, his pristine, curated empire, is gasping for air, and the woman he fed on the back porch owns the oxygen. I straighten. Who's fronting as CEO on paper? I ask. Still the proxy, Sarah replies. Holding companies clean. No obvious trails. To him, Nexus is just inconveniently powerful. Think of his voice. Cultured, cruel, designed to travel. Good, I say. Then kill it. There's a beat of stunned silence. Kill the deal. Yes. Kira, the breakup fee alone. I don't care, I say evenly. Send a formal withdrawal. And I want an email drafted. Directly to Silas. From me. Another pause. On what grounds? I step out of the car and look up at my building. Its cracked stucco and flickering hallway light. Toxic leadership, I say. Use those words. I'm inside before she answers. My shoes come off. My jacket hits the floor. The city hums outside my window like it always has. And Sarah? Yes. Loop Solaris in. Quietly. You want leverage. I want options, I say. If Vance won't sell to me, I'll buy the company that drives them into bankruptcy. I hang up before she can respond. The night collapses into a blur of cheap coffee and blue light. I sit at my kitchen table, hair pulled back, sleeves rolled up, the way I always do when things matter. Emails stack. Calls route. Patents resurface. Old victories breathe again. My phone lights up 6 times with the same name before dawn. Silas Hawthorne. I don't answer a single one. T 6:58 a.m. Sarah texts. He's here. I type back. Put him in the glass room. The building is awake when I arrive. Security tense, assistants whispering. Sarah meets me by the elevators, eyes bright. He's loud, she says. Expensive suit. Red face. Looks like he's about to have a coronary. I press the elevator button. Make him wait 20 minutes. She hesitates, then grins. You're terrible. I glance at her. I'm a stray, I say. We have bad manners. When I walk into the conference room, the sun is already high enough to hit straight through the glass, bright and unforgiving. Silas stands when he sees me, confusion flashing across his face before hardening into irritation. What are you doing here? He snaps. Did you follow me? I don't have time for your teenage drama. I say nothing. I take my seat at the head of the table. The chair is comfortable. Familiar. He stops talking. His gaze drops to the logo etched into the glass wall. Nexus Dynamics. He frowns, then looks back at me. Really looks. I watch the realization crawl over him, slow and ugly. No, he whispers. That's impossible. I fold my hands. You saw where I started, Silas, I say calmly. You were so busy looking down your nose that you forgot to look at where I went. You missed the patents. You missed the IPO. You missed the fact that the gutter trash you insulted last night owns the oxygen your company needs to breathe. He sinks into the chair opposite me. All that tailored confidence deflates at once. This is a misunderstanding, he says hoarsely. We can fix this. This has nothing to do with family, I reply. It has everything to do with business. He reaches, grasping. Mentions employees. Mentions Ethan. Mentions legacy. That I let him talk. And when he's done, I give him the silence he once gave me. Long, deliberate, devastating. Silas is still talking when my phone buzzes on the table between us. The sound is small, polite. It slices through his pleading like a blade through silk. That I glance down. Solaris. That I don't pick it up right away. I watch his eyes track the movement, the way desperation sharpens attention. He's sweating now, a faint dark crescent blooming under one arm of his immaculate suit. Legacy leaking out of him, molecule by molecule. Go on, he says quickly, trying for charm and landing on panic. If it's urgent. It is, I say and answer. Miss Thorne, the voice on the other end says, bright and eager, not bothering to mask triumph. We're very excited about the acquisition offer. Our board reviewed the preliminary numbers this morning. I don't look away from Silas as I listen. His mouth opens slightly, closes. Excellent, I say. I'm glad to hear it. When can we move forward? Soon, I reply. I'll be in touch. I end the call and set the phone face down. Silas stares at it like it just detonated. You're talking to Solaris? He asks hoarsely. They're our direct competitor. Yes, I say. You can't, he laughs weakly. That's a bluff. You wouldn't burn a $4 billion merger just to what? Yes. Make a point. His jaw tightens. Name your price, he says. I'll give you a board seat. Influence. Visibility. I lean back in my chair. I don't want a seat, Silas, I say. I want the table. The words land harder than any shout. He flinches as if struck that I slide a folder across the glass. He doesn't touch it at first. When he does, his hands tremble enough to rattle the pages. These are the terms, I say. Nexus acquires Vance. This is not a merger. It's a takeover. That valuation, his voice cracks. That's pennies on the dollar. Yes. You'll destroy us. No, I say calmly. I'll own you. He looks up, eyes wild. At least let me stay on. A transition period. Consulting. Something. One condition, I continue, as if he hasn't spoken. Your resignation is effective immediately. No golden parachute. No advisory role. No press tour explaining your vision. You clear your office today and you never step foot in this building again. Silence crashes down between us finally. In a small broken voice he asks. And if I refuse? I smile just barely. Then Solaris acquires your largest client by Friday. Your stock collapses by Monday. And by the end of the quarter you're liquidating assets to cover payroll. He closes his eyes. Use the service elevator when you leave, I add. We like to keep the lobby clear for people who actually belong here. He signs T noon. Silas Hawthorne resigns, BY2. The acquisition is announced, BY evening. The world knows that the stray ate the wolf. I'm standing by the window of my office when there's a knock behind me. I don't turn around right away. The city looks different from this height, less untouchable, more earned. Kira, Ethan says softly. I turn. He looks exhausted. Lighter somehow. Like something heavy finally slipped off his shoulders. I resigned this morning, he says. I search his face for the angle, the ask, the hidden cost. There isn't one. I walked away, he continues. From everything. I couldn't, he swallows. I won't be him. The silence stretches. This one is different. Gentler. I'd rather be a stray with you, he says quietly, than a prince with him. I study him for a long moment. Then I nod toward the chair across from my desk. I'm hiring, I say. We just acquired a large energy firm that needs new, non-toxic leadership. His breath leaves him in a laugh that sounds like relief. The rest happens fast. Cameras, statements, analysts scrambling to rewrite narratives they were too lazy to question before. Somewhere in the building, Silas packs his life into boxes that suddenly feel much smaller than he remembered. Through the glass wall of the conference room, I see him one last time. Pen shaking in his hand as he signs away the last scraps of power he thought were his by birthright. He looks exactly how I felt the night before. Spose. Reduced. Finally aware that I end the new world. Lineage doesn't matter. Only leverage does. Some people say revenge is a dish best served cold. Disagree. Revenge is a business transaction. And business, as it turns out, is booming. If this story hit you, don't be silent. Subscribe, share, and like. Turn on the bell. Silence isn't revenge. Being heard is.